Hello and welcome to today's daily news report. Let's start off with the first piece of good news that could lower the price of gas later this summer versus increasing it. Like many economists have been predicting, this might be the key piece of information that they've been missing. Well, OPEC, a petroleum exporting organization that basically covers the globe, just announced a 50% increase in oil output in the coming summer months of July and August. Initially, they planned to release 400,000 barrels of oil per day, but they've agreed to increase that to 648,000 barrels per day. Output has been an issue and OPEC did not want to burn for a long time, possibly to hurt the United States, or maybe didn't want to invest the money to increase their output. But as of right now, they are saying, hey listen, we are finally ready to ramp up and help out and do our fair share for the world. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre welcomed the news as national gas prices hit a new average of $4.71 per gallon. Gas has basically been going up faster than my blood pressure. There's going to be a massive influx of oil on the global market, which could meet that demand and bring those prices down. Sadly, right now, many parts of California are paying over $8 a gallon, especially in Southern California. That means that these gas prices per gallon are higher than minimum wage, which is making a massive negative impact on lower-income individuals' monthly budgets. After President Joe Biden released his plan to combat inflation, Democrat Representative Ro Khanna of California was critical and offered his own plan. He said, to meet the moment, Mr. Biden should convene an emergency task force empowered to lower prices and address shortages. Representative Khanna says the Democratic Party needs to be bold and fix issues instead of placing blame somewhere else. But it's interesting that Representative Ro Khanna has been parroting all of the same talking points as other Democrats and supporting Biden right off until Senator Bernie Sanders said he would support Ro Khanna for president. Representative Khanna has been critical of Biden publicly much more than he has in the past. He called him Mr. Biden. He did even call him President Biden. To President Biden's credit, he did just relieve a $368 million package that will improve rail infrastructure. White House Infrastructure Coordinator Mitch Landrieu said, this allows trains to go faster and get goods to markets safer and cheaper. So even though Biden's plan isn't the boldest, he is taking steps that could have a real effect on lowering the costs of everyday goods, which is a good step for the United States right now. As President Biden works to forgive some student loan debt, Democrats are starting to worry it could backfire on him. A Times editorial piece says proponents of debt cancellation argue that Democrats need to deliver on a campaign promise to a key constituency, and it may well be to their political advantage for them to do so before the midterm elections, when turnout for a Democrat base is most critical for the party's success. Now, this is the key factor many Democrats don't consider. Many elections are won or lost based on independents, not based on Republicans or Democrats. So right now, independents are on the fence about what they want President Biden to do. If they feel that they are treated unfairly, then they are not going to vote Democrat. They're actually going to swing read and they're gonna go with Republicans. So it might come down to how many independent voters want student loan forgiveness versus the general public. Yesterday, the Biden administration announced they will use $5.8 billion to forgive student loans for students that attended the now bankrupt Corinthian College. The college was a total fraud. The US government is stepping in to forgive that debts. For those of you that are waiting on student loan debt forgiveness, this shows them playing their cards and showing that they are in fact willing to forgive some student loan debts. And for those of you that are against it, it also doesn't mean it's going to happen. Anyway, right now we are all dependent and reliant on the US government to fix this problem. In money news, gold is moving up as increased worry over inflation continues. However, many analysts are saying that EFTPS might be nearing its bottom, while individual stocks could see more value drops depending on the jobs report and the CPI later this month. So just something to keep an eye on. These ETFs basically covers the entire market or a giant sector of the market versus just one company. And that's why casting a wide net with these ETFs usually pays off more in the long run than betting on an individual stock and hoping that it shoots to the moon, right? The Hill has been published offering a theory that former President Donald Trump won't run again in 2024 and that he's leading people on that used documentation. Trump's family members said that his father drew into the children that winning was the only option. That's why Donald Trump is probably not going to run, because they say his ego and his fear of losing might get in the way. Roger Stone, a friend of Trump, whom he pardoned in 2020, gave his thoughts. He said, "I think he wants to run and is inclined to run and has not made a decision to run." While some question Trump's waning popularity or growing popularity, President Biden's popularity continues to go down. It doesn't have his image that this coming weekend he will be going to the beach all weekend long. The Bidens will be staying at their multi-million-dollar beachfront property where they recently had a $445,000 security gate put up taxpayer money based on recommendations from the Secret Service. The Pentagon admits that they are walking a fine line with the amount of money, equipment, and intel systems they've been giving to Ukraine. Russia is also very aware of all of this extra help. However, the Pentagon wishes to reassure the American people that they have no plans to enter into war with Russia. But they will do all that they can to have Ukraine, while at the same time demonstrating their will and their power to China not to make a move on Taiwan. Many are worried that at some point, Russia is going to say, "Wait a minute, you are leading us into World War III," or that China is going to go after Taiwan and kick off a world war where Russia could then back China. They are admitting it, but they just wanted to reassure the American people that everything they are doing is not to get us into war. It's in fact to avoid getting us into a bigger war.